Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of the 11th annual scientific session of the Association of Specialists in Restorative Dentistry. Please rise for the arrival of a ceremonial procession.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Sundara Siri Tarini, Surani Ati Sobhamana Lanka. Raya Raya Nikamal Palakuru Piri Jaya Bhumi Ranya. Appa Hatta Sabha Siri Sata Sadhana, Jeevana Ye Mata. Dili Danu Mena Appa Bhakti Puja, Namo Namo Mata. Appa Sri Lanka, Namo Namo, Namo Namo Mata. Obave Appa Vidya, Obamaya Appa Satya, Obave Appa Shanti, Appa Hada Tula Bhanti. Aloke, Apage Anuprani, Oba Appa Jeevanave, Appa Muktiya Obave, Nava Jeevana Denini, Nitina Appa Kubudu Karan Vata. Jnana Veeda Vadavani Naragila Yanu Jaya Mudikara. Ekmavata Vedanu Kalabarina, Yamu Yamu Vinopama. Prema Vada Samaveda Durala, Namo Namo Mata. Appa Sri Lanka, Namo Namo, Namo Namo Mata.
To ceremonially commence the inauguration, let me now cordially invite the following dignitaries for lighting of the traditional oil lamp. Our chief guest, Professor K. Vettasinghe, orator Professor Chandra Herath, President, Association of Specialists in Restorative Dentistry, Dr. Nandana Kularatne, the Secretary, Professor Manori Jayasinghe, the Chairperson, Academic Sessions, Dr. Nilmini Abegunawardana, Treasurer, Dr. Sonali Ranatunga, Professor Manjula Atigala, the Dean, Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Peradeniya, Professor R.L. Vijayveera, Dr. Vajira Jayasinghe, representing past presidents of ASRDS, Dr. Lakmal representing all the participants, and Dr. Amali Jayasundar representing all the PG trainees.
Now I would like to invite the following dignitaries for the head table. The chief guest, Professor K.A. Vetasinghe, the orator and immediate past president, Professor Chandra Herath, the president of the Association of Specialists in Restorative Dentistry, Dr. Nandana Kularatne, Dr. Nilmini Abegunawardena, chairperson, academic session, Professor Manori Jayasinghe, secretary, ASRDS, Dr. Sonali Ranatunga, treasurer, ASRDS. Thank you.
The theme for this year is Leading to Excellence over the Challenges. We indeed are facing challenges as individuals, as a professional community, and more importantly, as a country. So with that, now I would like to invite Dr. Nilmini Abegunawardena, the chairperson, academic sessions, to deliver the welcome address.
Chief guest, distinguished guest at the head table, distinguished guest at the audience. Good evening to you. As the chairperson of the annual academic sessions, I'm truly honored and privileged to welcome all of you to this memorable occasion. Association of Specialists in Restorative Dentistry Sri Lanka is hosting the 11th annual academic sessions under the theme of Leading to Excellence over the Challenges. Recently, we have been conducting virtual events due to the restrictions of COVID restrictions and health regulations imposed to overcome the COVID pandemic, and due to the traveling and other problems due to economic crisis. Amid so many advantages, we have been experiencing unpleasant experience also we had with the virtual events, but such as lack of attention, lack of participation, lack of social interaction, those were the problems with virtual events. Overcoming those challenges, we organized this event as a physical one. Today we had a successful hands-on workshop on crown and bridges with good participation. And tomorrow there will be main academic sessions with 2 symposia, keynote lecture, 3 guest lectures, free paper session, and a poster session. I invite all the registrants to get the maximum use of the sessions. On behalf of the council, let me welcome our chief guest. I warmly welcome our chief guest, Professor K.A. Vetasinghe. Dear sir, you are a teacher for most of the specialists in restorative dentistry, including myself. And we are truly delighted that you accepted our invitation to be the chief guest at this event. I'm indeed honored to welcome our orator today, Professor in Pedodontics, Professor Chandra Herath. Madam, the audience is looking forward to your oration. I welcome all the virtual participants, including especially the keynote speaker, Dr. Lochana Nanayakara from the United Kingdom. And may I take this opportunity to welcome all the presidents and office bearers of the brother associations and colleges. I warmly welcome the director Dean of the Faculty of Dental Sciences, Professor Manjula Artikala, and also the Director of the National Teaching Hospital, Kandy. It's a privilege for me to welcome all the past presidents attended to this event, sacrificing their time. I warmly welcome all the professors, senior lecturers, all the senior consultants, postgraduate trainees, and all the registrants for this event. And I take this opportunity to welcome our sponsors who made great contribution to make this event a success. I also want to welcome our council members to this glamorous occasion. I wish all of you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Chandra Hera, immediate past president ASRDS, to read the citation of Dr. Nandana Kularatne.
Thank you very much. And please, distinguished guests, please let me read the citation of Dr. Kularatne. Dr. Kularatne is a consultant in restorative dentistry attached to the National Hospital, Kandy, and he is married to Madam Nilmini Kularatne and blessed with two children, Lahiru Kularatne and Hansika Kularatne. And he has obtained his board certification in 2005, and he did his training at the Faculty of Dental Sciences. He is a proud product of Sylvester's College, Kandy, and he has done his A-levels in 1984. He is a past president of Sri Lanka Dental Association, Wayamba branch, and a president of Kandy Hospital Consultants Associations, and also a former treasurer of Sri Lankan Academy of Aesthetic and Cosmetic Dentistry, and a life member of SLDA, life member of Dental Faculty Alumni Association, University of Peradeniya, and a life member of Kandy Society of Medicine, and a member of Board of Study Dental Surgery. And he, if I just read about his work experience, he has given his services as a consultant in restorative dentistry, Kurunagala, and assistant consultant in restorative dentistry in the Faculty of Dental Sciences, and he completed his overseas training at Prince Philip's Dental Hospital, University of Hong Kong, at the period of 2004 to 2005. And he has done many local and overseas workshops, and he has publications, local as well as international forum. So, and more than that, he has conducted many workshops for dental surgeons, registrars, and trainees in restorative dentistry, and all the other postgraduate programs. Having said that, I would like to congratulate our newly electing president, Dr. Nandana Kularatne. Thank you.
Let me invite Dr. Nandana Kularatne to come forward for the ceremonial induction of the new president, as the new president. And also let me invite Professor Chandra Hera Uh,
Let me now invite Dr. Nandana Kularatne, the President of ASRDS, to address the gathering.
So good evening to every one of you. Professor K. Vettasinghe, the chief guest tonight, and his wife, Madam Vettasinghe, members of the head table, Professor Chandra Herath, the orator tonight, Professor Manjula Atigala, Dean Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Peradeniya, my dear teachers, colleague consultants, academic staff members of the Faculty of Dental Sciences, presidents of other professional bodies, representatives from pharmaceutical companies, and distinguished guests. I am extremely delighted as the president of the Association of Specialists in Restorative Dentistry Sri Lanka to address you all today at the inauguration ceremony of the 11th annual academic sessions of the ASRDS. During the past few years, we were compelled to restrict all our academic activities to virtual platform due to the restrictions imposed on us by the COVID-19 pandemic and other unfavorable situations in the country. However, this time our council decided it is time to leave the virtual stage behind and host this year's academic sessions in style under the theme of leading to excellence over the challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, today's inauguration is going to be unique in two senses. One, due to the incorporation of the Professor Lal Tillekeratne Memorial Oration to the proceedings, and two, due to the launching of the very first newsletter of the ASRDS. I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate Professor Chandra Herath, the orator tonight, Dr. Gayani Taranga, the editor of the newsletter, and Dr. Aruna Vimalaratne, who added colors to this newsletter. Ladies and gentlemen, as you very well know, restorative dentistry cover 4 major areas of dentistry. If I take one by one, conservative dentistry, which deals with dental caries management, management of tooth wear, endodontics, crowns, and dental trauma management. Then the next one is the prosthetic dentistry, involving making dentures, obturators, maxillofacial prostheses, and fixed prostheses such as dental bridges and implant retained prostheses. Then periodontology, which deals with the treatment of gum diseases, and pedodontics, that deals with the pediatric patients. All in all, the final objective of the restorative dentistry is to restore the function and aesthetics of the dental arch. This will automatically benefit the socio-psychological aspect of the patient. During our undergraduate days, most of the advanced restorative treatment we learned were restricted to the books and just for the sake of academic interest. However, now we are in an era where most technologies are within reach of almost on par with the developed world. Dental implants, full porcelain crowns, the CAM technique, and 3D reconstructions are some examples. In the hospital setup, we also provide specialized care to optimize the oral health of those patients who are awaiting major cardiac and transplant surgeries, and for those who are awaiting radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and bisphosphonate treatment. Dental care for patients with comorbidities is also falls within the responsibility of restorative dentistry units. However, I believe we are not able to utilize the full range of available treatment modalities in the hospital setup due to the lack of resources. Due to the financial crisis, we are undergoing hardships in providing restorative dentistry care for our patients because the government and the health ministry have given priority to other specialties involving in the management of more critical patients when allocating limited resources. So if we are to continue our services, we must think of alternative ways of funding or recovering at least part of the expenses from the patients, even though that may not be the ideal option. It is also a high time we develop a system to monitor the purchasing and distribution of dental materials and dental manpower to use the limited resources more effectively. Proper clinical auditing also will be required to make positive changes in the field of restorative dentistry and dentistry as a whole. Distinguished guests, I would also like to speak a few words about our humble association. The ASRDS was founded in 2009, and I am proud to say that I was also a founder member and a part of the first council. It is, of course, no surprise, as those days there were only 8 members in our association, and we were all needed to fill the council seats. Since then, we have grown significantly. We were able to conduct several academic sessions and workshops over the years. Now there are more than 20 consultants in restorative dentistry working attached to the Ministry of Health, universities, and the armed forces. They are doing a wonderful job in providing quality health care and are also involved in postgraduate and undergraduate training and examinations. Our members are playing a leading role in advisory committees and policy planning. They also hold high ranks in most other dental associations in Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, focusing on this year's annual academic sessions, this morning we conducted a very successful pre-congress workshop for dental surgeons on crown and bridges. Tomorrow we have lined up a series of lectures, including the keynote address on dental implants and 2 symposia on dental trauma management and maxillofacial prosthesis. While thanking the resource persons of the workshop, I express my sincere gratitude in advance to all the resource persons involved in organizing the academic session 2022. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank all the pharmaceutical companies for their valuable contributions, without which this event would have been a vision only. Finally, I would like to thank my council who worked tirelessly for several weeks to make this event a success. I hope you all find this to be a fruitful 2 days. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to invite Professor Chandra Herath to receive her past president's badge from Dr. Nandana Kularatne, the president of ASRDS. Now we have come to an important segment of our inauguration. Today's chief guest is not a stranger to any of us, because majority of here are his undergraduate students. and many professors and consultants who are witnessing this occasion had their postgraduate training under him. So now I would like to invite Dr. Nandana Kularatne, the president of ASRDS, to formally introduce our chief guest.
Distinguished guest, it is indeed an honor and a pleasure to introduce today's chief guest and my supervisor during my postgraduate training, Professor K.A. Vettasinghe. In fact, most of the restorative consultants in practice at present, at one time or the other, had trained under the guidance of Professor Vettasinghe. Sir, we are very proud to have a person like you who has been one of the pillars behind the establishment of the restorative dentistry services in this country. As the chief guest tonight, where all the people who are continuing your legacy have gathered. Although Professor Vettasinghe is no stranger to most of us, it is my duty to give a formal introduction as the president of this association. So, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me as I lay before you the many achievements of a greater personality. Professor Kamal Anuradha Vettasinghe obtained his preliminary education from D.S. Senanayake College, Colombo, where his academic performances encompass only part of his character. He was a part of both the college athletic and swimming teams, a member of the Western Music Band and Orchestra, and a member of the cadet platoon. He held the position of house captain and college head prefect during his senior years. For his excellence in both academics and extracurricular activities, he was awarded the most prestigious Principal's Gold Medal in 1979, an honor only a few of the school's alumni received. After that, he entered the Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Tillekeratne, where he continued to show his colors as a true all-rounder. He obtained second-class honors in all examinations. He was awarded the Senate Scholarship in 1981 for being the best performer for obtaining distinction in physiology and biochemistry at the second BDS examination. And Dr. Ranjan Abesinghe Prize and the Miss Chief Ponsa Prize for topping the batch at the final BDS examination in 1985. At the same time, he was the treasurer of the Dental Students Association in 1984, secretary of the Students Welfare Committee, and a member of the University Explorer Club. He obtained his Master of Surgery, Dental Surgery from the PGM Colombo in 1989, winning the gold medal awarded by the College of Dentistry and Stomatology of Sri Lanka for his exceptional performance. By 1993, he got his FDRCS Edinburgh and FDRCS England. He has served at two world-renowned dental institutions, the Department of Conservative Dentistry, Royal London School of Medicine and Dentistry, United Kingdom, and Department of Operative Dentistry, Tokyo Medical and Dental University, Tokyo, Japan. Over the years, he has conducted many workshops and courses related to restorative dentistry. His name appears in over 30 research publications, and he has done an equal number of presentations at the international level. He also authored the book Essentials of Crowns and Bridges, which is a guidance for dental students. He was the head of the Department of Restorative Dentistry, Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Tillekeratne, and was also a senior student counselor from 2001 to 2004. He also served as a member of the Senate of the University of Tillekeratne. He was also a board member of the Board of Study for Dental Surgery, PGM Colombo, and examiner since 1998 for the Master of Surgery in Restorative Dentistry, Oral Surgery, and Orthodontics, and Diploma in General Dental Practice examination. He was also the coordinator of the MS Restorative Dentistry Training Program from 1997 to 2006, and the principal trainer. He's a board member of the Specialty Board in Restorative Dentistry and Orthodontics of the PGM Colombo. Ladies and gentlemen, He is an expert marksman with pistol, shotgun, and small bow and large bow rifles. His skills have been recognized at the national level on many occasions over the years. For his voluntary services, he was commissioned in 2004 as the Wing Commander and Honorary Consultant of the Sri Lanka Air Force Dental Batch. In 2012, he was promoted to the rank of Group Captain. To say a few words on his family life, Professor Wettasinghe is happily married to Dr. D.P. Wettasinghe, who is a consultant orthodontics attached to the National Hospital Kandy for many long years and blessed with 2 delightful daughters. He is currently serving as professor in restorative dentistry, Department of Restorative Dentistry, Faculty of Dental Science at University of Tillekeratne. That is my introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Wettasinghe is not well these days. Actually, 3-4 days before, Madam informed me that sometimes he won't be able to participate. But although, despite he was not well, and somehow he managed to present after taking so much of medicine, and but still he's not fit enough to give a speech. So I think his speech will be read by Professor Manil Fonseca, our Vice President. So thank you very much.
Before I start the speech proper, I think it's an honor to be reading the chief guest's speech on behalf of the chief guest. So without adding too much of 2 cents, may I quote the great Professor Wettasinghe. I quote, "The President and the Council of the Association of Specialists in Sri Lanka, orator for this evening, Professor Chandra Herath, members of the head table, the Dean Faculty of Dental Sciences, Professor Manjula Atigala, the President of the Sri Lanka Dental Association, Dr. Vajra Jayasinghe, all distinguished invitees, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I would first like to thank the Council for inviting me here on this very special occasion, the 11th annual academic sessions of your association. I am honored to be here. Firstly, I must congratulate the President and the Council on choosing a very fitting theme for the Congress, leading to excellence over the challenges. As we all know, the dental profession currently faces numerous challenges when it comes to providing quality oral and dental care to the public. Your efforts to find solutions through a scientific gathering are especially commendable. On the one hand, the continuous development of advanced restorative material and techniques has broadened the possibilities and consequently the expectations of modern oral healthcare. In addition, due to the added availability of aesthetic treatment approaches, patients' expectations have increased, not only for functionality, but also for better smile aesthetics. Due to the prolonged life expectancy and an increase in awareness, patient numbers are steadily increasing. In addition to this, prevention and evidence-based care have become key concepts for improving the quality of oral health care, which is now accepted as a vital element of general health and well-being. Thanks to our once robust healthcare system, the necessary resources to meet these challenges were available to a very satisfactory extent until the recent past. But sadly, the situation has changed. We are now in the midst of the worst socioeconomic crisis in our history, and this has devastating consequences to our healthcare system. A system which has had an exceptional record of achievements despite relatively low levels of investment, providing all levels of healthcare free of charge. So, How well does a health professional function in the current situation? How effectively can emergencies be handled? Can the quality of care provided be compromised due to lack of facilities? Or on the other hand, can patients be denied treatment? Who will need priority when it comes to routine care? On that note, I wish to leave these questions open to you, as the scheduled scientific sessions will be a good platform to start off discussions on the development of policies and prevention strategies to successfully meet the current challenges in order to ensure quality oral and dental care to the Sri Lankan public. With that, I wish the Association of Restorative Specialists in Sri Lanka success in all its future endeavors. Thank you very much, and unquote.
Thank you, sir. Today is a historical day for all of us because ASRDS is launching a newsletter tonight. Let me invite our chief guest, Professor K.A. Vettasinghe, the President, Dr. Nandana Kularatne, and the editor, Dr. Gaini Taranga, to launch the first ever newsletter of Association of Specialists in Restorative Dentistry, Sri Lanka.
Now I would like to invite Professor Manori Jayasinghe, the Secretary ASRDS, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening to all of you. The President, Dr. Nandana Kularatne, and Council of ASRDS, the host of this program, our Chief Guest, Professor A. Vettasinghe, the orator tonight, Professor C. Herath, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As the Secretary of the ASRDS, I am honored and greatly privileged to propose the vote of thanks to this august audience. First and foremost, let me thank our Chief Guest, Professor Vettasinghe. Sir, you are by no means a stranger to us, as all of us highlighted. The restorative dental specialty in this country has produced over 33 board-certified specialists from its inception. Out of this, more than half had been your PG students. Therefore, sir, we thank you for having accepted our invitation and been present with us this evening amidst your ill health. Would like to extend our gratitude to Madam Vettasinghe, too, for being present and coordinating the invitation for the chief guest. And also a big thank you to the orator for the evening, Professor C. Herath. In an era of knowledge economy, I would like to thank all our guest speakers tomorrow for their valuable contribution towards our theme, leading to excellence over the challenges, the academic sessions and the pre-congress workshop which was held today. The Council would like to thank and appreciate the Dean Faculty of Dental Sciences for being here with us today and for the support rendered in numerous ways, including provision of premises for the workshop and further to the directors of all hospitals. Sir, we are honored by your presence here. I would be pleased to mention the invited participants and the registrants for the event who should be the most important components in the whole academic program. Further, would appreciate the great support given by Dr. Barana Millevitana throughout organizing these sessions. I would fail in my duty if I don't thank our sponsors who to make this event a success. Let me express our thanks and appreciation to the principal and platinum sponsor for the sessions, George Stewart's Health, with Mr. Anushka De Silva and the team, and also silver sponsors for the event, CCL Pharma, Calbe Pharmaceuticals, and Gamma Pharmaceuticals. We also appreciate the support given by Dr. An Karunadasa with team from Cosmetic Dentistry for the sponsorship for the workshop, and trade exhibitors who have expressed their willingness to contribute to the program. We also like to thank the family of Professor Lal Tillekeratne, though they couldn't share with us tonight. I would like to thank two beautiful PG trainees, Dr. Vinath Rajapaksha and Dr. Gaini Kure, for their wonderful job done with comparing. Our sincere thanks are extended to Mr. Vinod Biduranga and the team who supported with us with photography. Our gratitude is extended to Mr. Kapila and the team for attractive background and the extended IT support. Further, our thanks go to the manager and staff of the Hotel Grand Candian for their maximum support provided in arranging the background work for today and tomorrow. Finally, I express my greatest appreciation to the President and the Council of ASRDS for working with great zeal and sacrifice to this event, more than a success. Thank you all. Enjoy the night.
Thank you, Madam. Now it is the time to introduce the Lal Tillekeratne Orator and symbolic presentation of Orator's Medal. For that, let me invite Dr. Nandana Kularatne, the President, ASRDS.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure to introduce the orator tonight, Professor Chandra Herath, a colleague, a valued member of our association and good friend. Professor Chandra Herath is a proud product of Girls High School, Kandy. She had a remarkable undergraduate career and obtained her BDS degree with second-class honors in 1995 from the University of Peradeniya with distinction in dental materials, and then her master's degree in restorative dentistry in 2002 from the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. She had her overseas training at Guy's Hospital, London, after which she obtained her fellowship in dental surgery from the Royal College of Surgeons in 2003. After returning to Sri Lanka, she continued to work at the Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Peradeniya, and is the current head of the Division of Pediatric Dentistry. She has also served as a member of the Board of Study, Dental Surgery, and the former chairman of the Restorative Dentistry Specialty Board during her service period as a consultant. She is an examiner at the MD Restorative Dentistry, MD Orthodontics, and DHDP examinations conducted by the PGIM Colombo. Besides, she is also an examiner at the ERPDS examination for foreign graduates. She was instrumental in preparing the curriculum for the proposed MD Pediatric Dentist course, which will be implemented by the PGIM Colombo in near future, and gave expert opinion on updating the school dental therapist curriculum. She is a member of numerous international professional bodies, to name few: the European Organization for Caries Research, the International Association of Pediatric Dentistry, the International Association of Dental Traumatology, and the South Asian Association of Pediatric Dentistry. She has carried out numerous studies on dental caries and dental trauma over the years and has over 35 publications in local and international literature. She has also published 2 books related to child and adolescent dentistry. The number of lectures and symposia conducted by her in Sri Lanka and overseas are numerous, and she has conducted workshops all around the country. To add to that, she was a past president of the Candy Toastmaster Club. She enjoys gardening, cooking, motivating other people, and practicing mindfulness during her leisure time. She is married to Dr. Metsiri Herath, a medical officer attached to the Ministry of Health, and blessed with 2 daughters who are currently enrolled in higher studies. More than everything, she is a very kind lady, willing to help anyone in need, and caring clinician dedicated to her patients. With that brief introduction, I kindly invite our orator tonight, Professor Chandra Herath, to the podium for the inaugural Professor Lal Tillekeratne Memorial Oration. Over to you, Madam.
Professor Chandra Herath, the orator tonight. Dear Madam, please come forward to receive your orator's medal from Dr. Nandana Kularatne, the President of ASRDS.
Very good evening to all of you. The chief guest for the occasion tonight, Professor Anuradha Wettasinghe and Madam Wettasinghe, the president of the Association of a Specialist in Restorative Dentistry Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandana Kularatne, and the council members, Dean, Faculty of Dental Sciences, Professor Manjula Artigala, Professor R.L. Vijayveera, and all the consultants of the Faculty of Dental Sciences, and all the consultants from the Kandy Hospital, and senior lecturers, and the trainees of ASRDS, and all the distinguished guests who have participated in this night. It's a great privilege to me to deliver this Lal Tillekeratne oration. Actually, it's a great honor to me, and I would like to welcome our Dr. Niranjan Tillekeratne and Tilani Gamlat, who helped me in preparation of this oration about Professor Lal Tillekeratne. Late Professor Lal Tillekeratne was born in Mount Lavinia in 27th February 1923. Obtained his primary and secondary education in St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia. He entered the University of Colombo in 1947 and graduated from University of Peradeniya in 1952. Soon after graduation, he became a junior lecturer in the Faculty of Dental Science, the dental schools actually, University of Peradeniya. In 1954, he obtained a Fulbright scholarships to study in University of Pennsylvania and moved to USA in 1955. He married his loving wife, Leela Tillekeratne, in 1955 before moving to USA. He was a very loving, trustworthy friend among his friends, and he was a silent teacher with careful observation and extended help whenever we needed. He had extraordinary courage and strength, generosity and wisdom. He was a humble and help who needed all the time. He was the chairman of the dental school for a shorter period, and he was the first professor in conservative dentistry and provided his services locally and internationally. He retired from the Faculty of Dental Sciences in 1997. These are some memories of his when in the faculty, and he was the pioneer postgraduate supervisor who trained the first and the second batches of MS Restorative Dentistry. His students remember him with great gratitude of his excellent services, even with minimal facilities. We can remember with minimal facilities, he started the restorative course. His priorities were teaching in the faculty and spent quality time with his loving family. These are some memories. We invited him as the chief guest in 2010, and he is blessed with a daughter, Tilani Gamlat, and son, Dr. Niranjan, and they have migrated to Australia in 2005. And Professor Tillekeratne moved to Australia to be with beloved family and grandkids. His hobbies were gardening and listening to music and photography. And he passed away in 2018 at the age of 95 years, leaving remarkable memories with us. So, as a teacher, he taught me material sciences and restorative dentistry. And as Dr. Tillekeratne said, I got a distinction from for the dental materials and was one of his favorite students. So I can remember when if someone become one of his favorite students, he used to give bursts whenever we needed. So right, so it's really nice memories about him. And again, I can remember only done in 1995, about a week before my wedding. So I was so scared because sir is not talking much, but with expert and experienced hands, he did a wonderful job, and still that is in my mouth. So I think I have very close relation and memories with him. I love material. I can remember I used to sit in front row and used to lip read. Sometimes we cannot hear what he's telling, but the whole story about material he used to tell. Everything what he said, we can find in the books. Sometimes things which are not in the books also, with his experience, he explained nicely. So still I can remember I got my distinction for my material because of his interesting teaching. Even though seems to be bit, monotonous, but was really nice. Really, the content was really excellent. So thank you, sir, and really happy to deliver this first oration of Lal Tillekeratne. Yes, let me move to my topic today, the oration, pediatric dentistry, past, present, and future. Pediatric dentistry is one of the defined specialties in the dentistry compare of art and science of providing comprehensive, preventive, promotive and curative rehabilitation and follow-up oral health care of children. It's really important. It's not just filling a cavity or pulling out a tooth. It's a very, vast area to be studied. Here we are dealing with target group called children, who are not miniatures of adults. I can always remember Professor Vijayveera always used to tell they are not small adults. So always we have to, as a pedodontist or as the doctor who is dealing with children, you should remember this because it is really important. If it is possible to inculcate positive attitudes and behaviors contributing to better oral health during childhood, will continue to adulthood, thus establishing them sound status of oral health. My dear colleagues, professors and everyone, if we do our pediatric dentistry treatment very well, and if we can inculcate better oral health practices, definitely we have to close all the other sections, restorative, extractions, because we are going to motivate children from the beginning to keep their good oral health. I think because pediatric dentistry is a very important area in dentistry, what we have to promote a lot, rather than telling that really difficult to work with uncooperative children. Let's see one by one, because I will touch all those aspects, how we can make pediatric dentistry an interesting area. Child behavior. They have identified the dental behavior problems could occur with or without dental fear and anxiety. really important us to understand about this dental fear and anxiety. Without understanding that, we will not be able to identify the behavior of the child, because it's another big area us to study about the child behavior, anxiety and their fear. Actually, they have done a research and understood that unpleasant dental experiences in patients happen in 90% of cases before 15 years of the patient. It means as a child. So if you get a fearful adult, means that child, the person has had a bad dental experience as a kid. I can remember even myself, I'm so scared to visit a dentist. I really hate my pediatric dentist who treated me those days. When I see him, actually her therapist, I hate her a lot. Unfortunately, she was one of my aunt, and my father used to take to that dental all the time. And I had very bad mouth with many cavities. So I will come back into that story, and unfortunately or fortunately, I ended up as a pediatric dentist. Maybe my patients are fortunate because I know my pain. Even though I don't like, my father pushed me to that dentist and I wanted to get my dental treatment done. So poor children, they have to visit their parents' favorite to get the treatment. We should keep that also in our mind. So I think because I was a very anxious patient during my childhood, I feel whenever I get a child, I never ever give injection with a 23 gauge needle, because when I prick with that, I feel that needle is going into my mucosa. I feel pain. So therefore, most of the time, all the time, I apply surface anesthesia and used to give local anesthesia, because I know how fearful the nature of that fear, because we feel like just flying out. Childhood fears you have to identify in elaborate manner, because according to the age, adults at their any age, they can understand what is going to happen. But when we discuss about the pediatric children, that means children from 0 to 18, or we'll say 16, the cognitive development is really different from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can remember as a junior lecturer, when I was treating a child around 1.5 years old, I thought, my goodness, what a nasty patient, a murandu kollegda me, because I didn't understand his mentality at that stage, because 1.5 years child doesn't know anything. Right? After 3 years only he will understand what we care. So it is really important us to understand their psychology. Then only we will be able to approach them. If they are really fearful, phobic, our behavior management therapy will not work. Then we have to go for general anesthetic session. So identification of their mentality is really important. So psychological development and development of speaking abilities, cognitive development of the child, socio-emotional and development according to the psychology, and the child temper, all those things we have to study. I'm not going to elaborate here. We have to study 100%. Then only we will be able to tackle children in a positive manner. So actually, in the future, we need to do many research in relation to this area, because then only we will understand the mental status or the psychology of Sri Lankan children. We always refer British psychology or the research done in other countries. Are they tally with our children? No, they are not. Because therefore, we have to do many research in relation to this area. So actually, in the future, those are the things we have to do in pediatric dentistry. I will elaborate one by one in the future. What happened during COVID period? The 21st century child, or we'll say post-COVID, today's children are surrounded by technology, use of interactive screens and audiovisual glasses. So I think during COVID era, they have addicted to this new technology. Therefore, it is essential to use these devices while they are in the dental chair. We can give a phone, actually giving phone is not a good thing, but still you can make them cooperative giving cartoons, just displaying cartoons. But if we don't know how to operate them, and myself, I used to study about the cartoons, it's going in this way, it's popular during this period. Maybe 1 or 2 words. If they ask in details, I will not be able to explain, but yet you should know, because good olden days, Mal Mama's Katava and Gamarala's Katava, it's not going to tally with this era children. So you have to learn about 21st century learner mentality, the 21st century child's mentality. And also you should updated your technology, otherwise child will understand, my goodness, this dental auntie or this dental uncle doesn't know anything. And when you crack jokes, you have to think about their age also, because sometimes your jokes will not tally with the child. According to the age, you have to select all those things. Then, behavior modification methods. Before, we used to tell, we have to do tell, show and do method. Behavior shaping, modeling, positive regards, control, giving control to the student, child, but new technologies, depending on this new era, it has changed. Now they say communicate and communicative guidance. That means you have to think about the verbal and non-verbal communication. At the beginning, from the beginning, you have to be friendly with the child. Otherwise, he will understand your mental status. If you are in a hurry, if you are not in a good mood, I think it's better not to tackle children, because they can understand. I can remember once child asked from me, Auntie, ada hunda nae wage, tarah gihilla dinne. I was so, stressed up with lot of work. So I just wanted to finish the work and send the patient away. They can understand. They are genuine, right? So therefore, we have to understand that verbal and non-verbal communication going to matters a lot. Positive pre-visit descriptions. So you can just talk with parents and just give instructions to them, what to tell, what not to tell. ගෙදරදි කතා වෙනවා නම් මගේ අම්මෝ අද නම් දත ගලවයිද දන්නේ. දත ගලවනවා කිව්වා. Because these children listen what mother is telling. අම්මා ඊයේ කිව්වනේ දත ගලවනවායි කියලා. Doctor, are you going to pull out my tooth? So you have to be careful. Just give the instruction prior to the appointment. Again, teledentistry is a future important area to be developed. We have to develop, because it's not necessary to get them down to the hospital all the time. We can get photographs. We can give instructions through the phone, right? So teledentistry is another field which is developing in this era. So my dear colleagues, please think about that, doing positive pre-visit descriptions. Tell, ask, tell and ask, not tell, show, do. You have to ask what they are expecting to get today, then explain, okay, if so I'm going to do this, then ask whether they understood it. It is important. Memory restructuring. If they had bad experience, we have to do it. We have to correct that memory. And descriptive praise, teach back, ask them to teach back what we, so always they say better to develop teacher-student relationship, because teacher-students, it's very familiar. Teacher is very familiar to the student. Therefore, they will love to hear the teacher's voice or the teacher's explanation. Again, I have a lot of memories about, I can remember one child used to tell, teacher dentist. My friend was thinking, why are you telling teacher dentist? Ami, she is teaching more than my teacher about teeth. So therefore, always if you keep that relationship, it's going to be really nice. Then we should have special qualities. It's not to become a pediodontist, a dental surgeon who is caring of children. Commended interest in treating children. You have to have a passion. Otherwise, without, willingness, you cannot treat children. Gentle towards children, calm and kind, also create child-friendly atmosphere, tailored to that child. And also responsive towards parents and easily accessible should be there. That means parents should be able to access you easily. Otherwise, after finishing or after curing the pain, if you are going to talk to your patient, that is not, because children cannot bear that one. And also friendly and engaging staff. Your staff should be perfect. Even though you are kind and things, if your staff is not going to be friendly, that will affect the treatment. Need to be ready for the future with updates, means you have to update your knowledge all the time, because with kids you have to act quickly. With your adult patient still you need, but with kids you cannot think, okay, how am I going to do the pulp therapy, whether I'm going to do this, so that you can't think, because you have to have updated knowledge. Because prompt action is needed. I will focus mainly on pediatric dentistry, considering those three areas. Pediatric dentistry before 1998, actually I was a product of during that period, and what happened to us after 98, getting JICA project, the new faculty, and what should we do in the future. Few memories as a dental student in the old dental faculty. And here, old pedodontic department. I should thank Professor Dr. Tushari Hewapatirana and my good friend Dr. Sanjaya, who provided these photographs. And here you can see these chairs. Most of the time we did our treatment in a standing position because we couldn't tilt them, right? So I can remember after the session, legs are hurting because the whole day we have to stand. How lucky you are. This is how we graduated from our old faculty, yet we get the maximum proper training during that period. Also, thanks to our nice, excellent teachers, including Professor Lal Tillekeratne. In the new dental faculty, this is how we develop under the guidance of Professor Lakshman Vijayveera. So we just make the environment child-friendly. And we were able to introduce play area for children and TV screen. Here you can see TV screen because to display cartoons and things. Let's move to the pediatric dentistry evolution in the world context. Actually, over the last centuries, there's spectacular advances in the field of pediatric dentistry happened in 1910 to 1930s. Actually, some dentists established kids-only practices, though there was no formal pediatric dentistry education. There was no formal education, but they started saying that I'm going to treat children. In 1940, Dr. Alfred Civilian Fons the father of dental hygiene created a program for undergraduates, and he sent his undergraduate to dental care in public schools. In 1924, Dr. Engville Jordan published the first book in pediatric dentistry. Sorry for the pronunciation, Evangeline Jordan. Yes, then in 1940s, American Dental Association identified pediatric dentistry as a separate specialty. 1940, water fluoridation was introduced. 1950s, in USA, they may ask almost all the children to visit the dentist, but half of them they visited at least once a year. In 1960s, postgraduate pediatric dentistry training programs were created, and the pedodontists were trained. And in 1960s, Kyoto introduced fissure sealants, and in 1967, the year which I was born, the International Association of Dentistry for Children was established. And in 1970s, school-based fluoride mouth rinsing program was introduced, and in 2000, dental home concept was introduced. They, without waiting children to come to the dentist, they went to home, and they tried to establish better dental health in children. Then in 2010, risk-based management of dental caries I will explain what it is, and actually in 2020 they are trying to digitalize this pediatric dentistry, introducing digital gadgets for children, like small X-ray machines rather than having a big machines. So likewise, and kids-specific instruments to make children very peaceful or stress-free. Let's move to this the pediatric dentistry evolution in Sri Lanka, late 1970s, and I should thank Professor Vijayveera giving me all those information, and Madam Nandani also. So in 1970s, Professor S.B. Disanayaka initially taught pedodontics. Professor Vijayveera said he taught almost all the subjects, it seems. And then he appointed Dr. Sri Skanda to teach pediatric dentistry later. During this period, there was only 1 day per week where pedodontics was taught. Early 1975, after 1975, the faculty has decided, actually dental school decided to identify pedodontics as a separate subject and have recruited initially Dr. Aryavati, and she has gone to Denmark to get her PhD, and Professor Lakshman Vijayveera got his permanent appointment in 1979, and got his PhD in New York, and actually with the help of Dr. Vijay Kumaran established the pediatric dentistry unit at the old faculty. And from there, then I just joined in 1997, and again when we moved into the new faculty, yet Professor Vijayveera and Dr. Vijay Kumaran took the initiatives, because once again I left for my postgraduate. Again, they took the burden and pushed they were the pillars of pediatric dentistry, and motivated us to do many new things in the division. Then Dr. Surangi joined, Dr. Nadisha, and the newly added one is Dr. Sakuntha Ratnapriya. And even I want to remind Dr. Palipano also with us for a shorter period, and especially Dr. ASRD Jayawardena was with us for longer period, and he left the faculty. In 1995, MS in restorative dentistry, including pediatric dentistry, was introduced. Then in 1998, the new faculty was established. I can remember we were lucky to get enormous teaching from Japanese experts who visited the faculty during that period. I especially should remind Dr. Kato. He taught us a lot of things in relation to pediatric dentistry. In 2003, we were able to introduce comprehensive oral care under general anesthesia, and also we started a joint clinic and consultant clinic. In 2010, we were able to introduce play area and other numerous things. In 2016, we were able to install sedation unit. In the future, this is our dream. I think Dean, our faculty will help us establishing this kind of thing. Again, Professor Vijay Veera also will help us. So in numerous ways finding out funds. So I think if we can have different themes in different cubicles, we can make children attractive. Then other department, my colleagues, it's going to be free of, it's going to be free because you will not hear that sounds. Otherwise, the screaming sounds you can hear, it's really, it's not nice to hear because most of the time we don't do treatment under general anesthesia. Not only that, not only in the restorative department, we can introduce microscopic endodontics for children as well, and inhalation sedation in an effective manner we are planning to improve. Then these are the people who are going to look after the children in our field. I think about my story, Dr. Tillekeratne mentioned most of the thing. I completed BDS in 1995. I should specially mention about my mentors, late Professor Malkanthi Chandrasekhar, Professor Ashok Ekanayaka, who motivated to do pediatric dentistry as a subspecialty, and Dr. Anandamurthy, Professor Nandani Nagaratne. So, and under their guidance, I completed my BDS with second class honors. So then I attached to the pedodontic unit under the exceptional guidance, Professor Vijay Veera. I completed MS in restorative dentistry in 2000, and under the supervision, tough supervision, sorry sir, but because of your tough supervision, I'm here standing. I can remember, I don't want to tell, yeah. Oh, I think it's better to say, sir, because you always say it's all right you to become a stupid trainee, but I don't want to be a stupid trainer. So always I can remember, I used to study a lot to keep your expectations. So thank you very much. I always remember your guidance. Then completing the foreign graduate in Guy's Hospital, London. Special gratitude goes to Professor Prasad Amaratunga, who arranged this placement for me because it's really difficult finding out places. And obtained fellowship in 2003, and I obtained my professorship in 2018. Again, I would like to share a few memories, and then I would like to just tell something about life transformation from caterpillar to butterfly, who just fine-tune my skills, knowledge, and especially attitudes. Sri Lanka, we always used to give knowledge and skills, but sometimes we forget to give the character and the attitudes. So I myself fine-tuned at the Guy's Hospital under the supervision of my supervisor here, Dr. Evelyn Sheehy, and my good friend, Dr. Prablin Anand. So I should remember them because that transformation, because I did my fellowship in UK. Through that, I was able to improve my knowledge in a massive manner that is helping a lot as a teacher in the faculty. Let's move to the common dental diseases in children. Dental caries is a very common disease among children. Therefore, the caries present in children before 6 years, we call it early childhood caries, and we'll see how prevalent in among Sri Lankan children. 1 to 2 years of children, they have found 32% of caries, and those kids have at least 2 caries teeth. 1 to 2 years, so small. And I did another research. We found 6-year-old children, 78% of them had dental caries. So this, and about 95% of them were untreated. This is the story of dental caries in children. I think especially pediatricians, I always request identify them, because most of them, they don't come visit us. Therefore, we should pick them at the early stages, and we should introduce preventive measures for those children. According to the global burden, still they have found dental caries as the top diseases among people. Here, the light blue one is deciduous caries, and the purple one is the dental caries in adults. So still, that's the number one disease. Common cold is the number one, and the second is dental caries. We have to pay enough attention when we manage them. This is the same thing. Global distribution of dental caries. Sri Lanka is somewhere there. And here also this graph shows caries more common in deciduous teeth. This shows the prevalence of dental caries in permanent teeth. Still, it is high. We are at the higher levels. If we move to National Oral Health Survey, what they have identified, 5 years, the caries risk has reduced, the prevalence has reduced from 76 to 63, and 15-year-old ones 69 to 41%. But we have to be careful. During COVID season, children used to eat a lot of sweets while they are doing their online studies. I think in the future, that will increase a lot. Recently, we did a research. One of my PhD students did a study on the association of early childhood caries with nutritional status, oral health status, and oral health quality of life. It's unpublished data. What we found, the caries, the prevalence has increased while it has affected the nutritional status of children. It's a vicious cycle. Children used to eat a lot of refined carbohydrate. That will leads to low nutritional values. Then what will happen, because of once they eat sweets, most of them will get cavities. Due to cavitated teeth, they will not be able to go for proper diet. That will badly affect in the other way around also. So I think after COVID, we have to be very, think crucially, because the picture may have changed a lot. We need a lot of studies in the future. So I'm not going to go into details. How are we treating these children with cavities? Usually we say we should stop eating sweet food. Then we should address, or we should ask them to do better brushing, usually, or doing restorations. Introduction of fluoride. Before long days, what we thought, how should we tackle dental caries? We thought just drilling the cavity and fill it, or badly, grossly broken teeth to pull out. That was the past practice. Then we thought, no, we have to think as a model, the medical model. I will move into, so I will come into that point a bit later. Now, introduction of fluoride, even though they have done water fluoridation or not, they have identified marked reduction in dental caries. Then, is there a usage of introducing water fluoridation? No, because this graph shows that marked reduction has taken place. According to the literature, they say this may be associated with introduction of fluoridated toothpaste. Again, I want to highlight, now there is a big trend introducing non-fluoride containing toothpaste. As professional, we have to take enough attention to get the enough, motivate people to use fluoridated toothpaste. And we have done a school-based fluoride mouth rinsing program, identified that the caries risk has gone down. After introduction, we started to introduce fluoride mouth rinsers for grade 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the levels, and we found these tall pillars are control groups, DMFT and DMFS, and even we have observed caries, enamel caries reduction after introduction of fluoride mouth rinsers. Therefore, again, a good program to be introduced in schools. But what I want to highlight, we cannot do many things because of the human, the facilities what we have, but there is a very good product called silver diamine fluoride. Actually, Dr. Pradeepika Lianarachi is doing it's going to do a research on fluoride, the silver diamine fluoride. I think in the future, this material is drastically help in reducing dental caries without intervention. That means without doing drilling, we can introduce this method. So I think this will be a good method in the future, especially with children with this economic crisis. I think silver diamine fluoride going to be a good solution for pediatric dentistry. So I will just briefly explain, when we manage dental caries, we should not think in an isolated manner. We have to just think about overall picture, need to manage almost all the risk factors, then we will be able to manage dental caries. Recently, I just identified this one. The people who love to take sweets get more cavities. Means sweet dislikers don't get caries, whereas sweet likers will get genetically determined thing. So if you love sweets, don't worry about that because it's genetically determined. So I think we have to study about those things also. Just when we treat dental caries, think about overall picture. And the current thinking is 4D model. So we have to think overall picture, and we have to think about minimal invasive treatment and the prevention side and recalls. Those are really important. So I'm not going to go into detail because all those things in the net, you can just go through it. It's going to be really useful. This overall caries management method we have to introduce, especially for small kids. Dental trauma, again, another common scenario among children. Most of their children, about 30%, will present with dental trauma. And what we have identified, according to the age, the trauma prevalence is going to increase. And we have done a research and we identified boys are more prone to get cavities, the dental trauma, and also most of them, if I just elaborate this, the type of tooth fractures, enamel and dentine fractures are the commonest one, whereas complicated crown fractures going to be 23%. And if we think about the trauma to the supporting structures, 60% going to be subluxation, little more injury to the tooth, and 32% going to be concussion. If we move, unfortunately, only 23% of children present for the review appointments. So this study was done by Dr. Kalubovil and Sashli in the pediatric dentistry department. Therefore, right now, in the past, we just didn't use any guidelines when we treat dental trauma, but currently, after introduction of these guidelines, we were able to use those International Association of Dental Traumatology guidelines, and I think easily we can use, that means if we can pay $30, we can download with the dental trauma visual guide, because it explains everything, what to do and how to do. This is a very good, important material you to download, because that will teach us the emergency management of dental trauma. In the future, actually what I want to highlight now, rather than using, because again during this crisis season, we have to think about synthesized dental material in Sri Lanka. Not because in the future we will have no dollars to get down the material, import the material. I think we have to think about research towards that side in the production of dental materials, which will be useful in trauma management, dental caries, or in all the other aspects of dentistry. Developmental anomalies, again very common one. The developmental anomalies going to be identified by the pediatric dentist, because at the very early stages, if you find them, the pediatric dentist or dentist will be able to identify them, and we have to manage them accordingly. Then only that child will be able to move to the adulthood with controlled developmental anomaly. Therefore, identification is really important. One important thing is supernumeraries. I think you know the supernumeraries, extra teeth. So it is important you to identify, and because early identification will prevent complications. Supernumeraries, early identification will prevent the complications which will arise due to extra teeth. Therefore, as dentists or periodontics or trainees, you should be able to identify those things. Other developmental anomalies, the amylogenesis imperfecta, again, not very common, but we see many cases in our clinics. So again, important you to identify that and provide necessary treatment. Again, what I want to highlight, this child with the syndromic child with trichoosseous, cone rod dystrophy, actually we identified as the first time. I just noticed nystagmus and refer the patient to the surgeon and pediatrician, actually from there onwards, they were really worrying about discolored teeth, but they haven't identified the medical condition. So dental surgeons, you people can identify those things, because sometimes child will visit you as the first time. Always we have to update our knowledge, because developmental anomalies are not common like dental caries. Rarely you will see those cases. Always try to share your knowledge with your colleagues, because very rarely we will see these things. Update your knowledge, share with others, then you will be able to provide better care. Special health care need children, mostly we have to treat under general anesthesia, because we will not be able to provide better dental treatment if we don't consider them as special group of children. We did one research, again we identified among the children who are visiting the faculty, 67% of them, they were with medical conditions, right? So, and 12% of them were mentally abnormal ones, or physically the 1% were physically abnormal, and 20% of them were mixed. Among them, the children with special health care need, also they had the most prevalent disease was dental caries and periodontal disease, trauma, and 55% of them needed antibiotic prophylaxis prior to the dental treatment. So those are the things what I experienced as few of them, because when we try to cover the whole thing, it's going to be a boring one. So what I want to say, in the future, all the time we need to update our knowledge, because dentistry is moving very fast. Identification of treatment modalities, materials. Therefore, in the future, we have to introduce MD in pediatric dentistry, which will improve our specialty a lot. MSc in pediatric dentistry, and especially I say we have to train dental surgery assistant, separate ones who help in pediatric dentist. Inhalation sedation, and also problem based on the evidence-based research should be done. Basic and advanced research should be done in relation to the pediatric dentistry, and always try to publish some books, story books in relation to pediatric dentistry. The trainees can do, because that we can help in updating the knowledge of patient. And actually I want to tell about my second transformation. Because I was a very shy person who cannot speak a lot. I can just do my lectures, but when it comes to the podium, I just shivering. So actually, I just thought I have to improve because I can remember people used to say it's a kind of a lullaby. Still, I know it's kind of a lullaby, but I was able to deliver at least few words without shivering. Therefore, Toastmasters, because dentistry is just what I learned from my faculty. It's dentistry skills and about the dentistry. There we didn't learn many things about public speaking, leadership qualities. So through this Toastmasters Club, I have learned a lot. I think again what I want to, recently I participate staff development program. There I understood the little what I know, because we know about medicine a lot. We might know a lot about our specialty, maybe agriculture, but when it comes to public, we don't know a lot. because we have restricted to our speciality. Always we have to think out of the box. We have to go out of the box. So in that special staff development program under the supervision of Dr. Rasnayaka, Mudiyanse Rasnayaka, I learned a lot. As a teacher, what I want to tell you, my message, always try to update your knowledge, not in relation to your specialty. Because when we are with the patient, we feel like we are the superior people. But when we go out to the society, only you will realize you are just a normal person in the society. Therefore, always try to update your knowledge. And I should give my special thanks at the end to the President and the Council of ASRDs, giving this great opportunity to deliver the oration, the first oration, even though I'm a past president. New president invited me to do it. I'm just thinking whether it's okay, but yes, still it's a great privilege. And I should thank my teacher, Professor Lakshman Vijayveera, who was behind me from the beginning to push me up in the ladder. Our chief guest tonight, Professor Vettasinghe, again I should give my special thanks, even though Professor Ashoka Ekanayake is not, even though he's not here, he's the person who again asked me to sub-specialize in pediatric dentistry. Because his motivation, I selected to do pediatric dentistry. Special thanks, I should remember my teacher, late Professor Malkanti Chandrasekhar and Professor Vikramanayaka. Again, even during my at the undergraduate levels, they motivated me a lot. Because of them, I'm here today to become academics. They were the inspiration. And late Professor Basnaik, who laid the foundation in my academic life. Yes, and I should thank Professor Prasad Amaratunga, who find the training place for me, and the supervisor at Guy's Hospital, Dr. Evelyn Sheehy, and all the consultants who taught me throughout. Even though I don't mention your name, that doesn't mean I have forgotten your name. You were there with me to push me up to this level. And not only my teachers, my colleagues, I am motivating a lot from y'all. Thank you very much. And my dear students, undergraduates and postgraduates, I'm learning a lot from you, right? So throughout learning is supported by trainees and all the guests who are here to listen my oration. And at last, not least, who is always with me, behind me, my family, my late mother, Tikiri Kumari Hami, and my father Navaratna Godamunna, and my loving husband who always supported me, bearing my troubles at home, saying this, right? So thank you very much. And my two daughters, Tilini and Sanduni, because academic life is not an easy thing. We always sacrifice a lot of family time for this. Thank you very much. So very good night to all of you.
Dear guests, that concludes today's ceremony. So please stay and enjoy the dinner and fellowship and have a pleasant evening. Thank you. Dear guests, please stand as the ceremonial procession is now leaving the hall. Thank you very much.